Hi everyone, this is me, Sammy from ANSF Sounds. We're taking a look at the P900 from Pulsar Modular. Now, before I get into this, I will say that this is not totally impromptu. I was actually contacted by Pulsar after I made an account with them to do a video for them, and I've gladly accepted because I do think this is a really intriguing and it's worth giving a fair shake. The GUI is beautiful, the concept's great. One thing I really appreciate is there really aren't any hidden parameters, side panels, back panels, anything like that. What you see is what you get, and I really like that. They've really taken advantage of what plugins do best. For example, we have monophonic and legato. We also have polyphonic playing modes that don't require you to do any other routing or any other different patching. You just basically flip the switch and you have either 6 or 8 voices. I think that's great. Also, the way you can load modules. You can just scroll through them like this. Or you can right click. And of course you have the ability to save patches. So that's all very important to me when it comes to a software synth. So I'm now going to clear the rack. And let's begin. So here we are with the first module. It's the MIDI to CV converter, and very conveniently, as you scroll down, you're given the modules in the kind of order that makes sense for most applications. So, got our oscillator driver. This will basically give us master level control over the oscillators, so pulse width, frequency, and then we've got up to 4 oscillators that we can use. I'm not going to employ all 4 here because of CPU and so on. While I'm doing the screen recording, I'm quite strapped for the CPU cycles. So I'm going to go here to the master output. I just think it makes sense to put it over here. And let's begin with some patching. Let's get some audio going. So I'm going to route the pitch to frequency here. And let's bring up a VCA. Now the VCA is going to, well, let me just show you. If I didn't have a VCA, you would just have endless sound. So I'm going to route this into the VCA instead. That'll enable me to actually control it with my keyboard. So let's mix some of these signals together in here. And we are going to route the gate. There we go, into the VCA. So let's add a little bit more complexity to this and bring in some envelopes. This is now going to be my gate envelope for the VCA. I have release, decay, attack, and sustain is over here, the last one. It's a very punchy one. Let's go to polyphonic here. Actually, that's a good idea. Let's do some detuning here. What is plugged into? Oh, I had the same oscillator plugged into both inputs. Very nice. What I'm going to do next is bring in a filter. We actually have 5 different filter types, which is something I wasn't expecting because I thought this was pretty much a Moog emulation. And I think a lot of these modules are based on the Moog. But then again, I think Moog had a bunch of different filters available to it as well. I'm not sure. I obviously never had the Moog modular. So let's use a filter here. And you'll notice that you have to kind of keep track of where everything is going. But it's not too hard, to be honest with you, because you know, for example, if you've got everything in the mixer, the mixer's got to have an output. That goes to the filter's got to have an output, and that goes to the VCA. Now I'm going to bring in now I'm going to bring in another envelope. And we're going to use this envelope on the filter. Again, the gate is going to the envelope. and that's being routed here. So very nice filter there. However, I'm going to need to control the actual amount of modulation on this filter. So I'm going to use an attenuator here. And so now I can route this into the attenuator before I put it into the filter. So that's really nice. Now the other cool thing I want to show you here is the saturation on the output module. You just push up the input like this. And we can switch this too, as well, to Class A. So very nice. I'm gonna go back to this AB. Back off just a little bit. Okay, now the other thing I want to introduce here is just a little bit of white noise, and that happens to be in this module here. But what I'm going to do is high pass this white noise, so let's plug it into the high pass filter. Okay, so I also want to attenuate this noise a little bit in the high end. I'm going to back off the input. I kind of want one more oscillator here, just to put in some low end. There's the rectangle. Nice. There's such a beefy sound to this synth, and I think it's because they've modeled it on, I think, the Moog Modular. And there is just something about the sound of some of these older synths. Let's bring this up a little bit. Now let's bring in an LFO here and modulate the width. Okay, so that's a bit too much. Let's put that through an attenuator first. Okay, very cool. Now, let's have a look at the effects. It took me a few moments to figure out that these effects can't actually be, plugged into anything over here. The way it works is you have some inserts here, and you send the inserts out to the effects, and then the effects back. And that's how it works. So now this is now inserted, and you need to mix in the dry with the wet. Very nice. And this is our bucket bridge delay. That is just gorgeous. I do love the delay. So this is the... I need some more release on this one. There we go. Let's push the input now. So I'd love to be able to take the output of the effects, say the analog delay or the plate, and put them in the modular synth, so to speak, have them connected between modules or have them before some modules, but you can only have them on the master out. And I thought it was a bit of a shame when I found out, but actually the reasoning is quite simple. This is a polyphonic synth, and if you wanted to have these effects available in polyphonic mode, they'd be replicated for each voice, and that would just be insane on the CPU. And so I guess there's really no way around that. I really value the polyphonic mode, and it would be a shame to not be able to use it because the CPU usage would just be too high. So I get it. What would be nice, maybe if it's possible in the future, if they could put in some very simple effects, that might be pretty cool, that were very CPU light. Anyway, back to the program. Now let's put this into the plate reverb, and the plate reverb will, I believe, will generate its own pseudo stereo sound. And I did have a listen to this reverb a minute ago, and it is gorgeous. Let's change the attack here on this filter. Oh, very nice. Okay, I want to try and do some frequency modulation. This might sound really crazy. Let's try it out. Very cool. There's probably a much better way to do it though. It sounds a little rough because I'm only on 2 times oversample. Much better behavior on 4 times, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do that because the intensification multiplies on the CPU and it's just too much. Now, it does occur to me that we haven't really explored many of the filter types or anything like that yet, so let's just take a look at the different filter types. Let's go with state variable. I want to show you this one. This is really, really beautiful. So let's go with our input here to the output. Let's get rid of these modulations. It's a really beautiful filter. Oberheim-like. If I have another filter type available, let's just use that. Let's go and do a bit more experimentation over here. I wonder if I can just straight up boost the volume with something. Let's go for another mixer and see if I can just boost the volume with that. So what I could do here is just multiply all my connections and let's just get rid of this mixer for now and plug this into. I might have to redo the way I've programmed this right now, unless this is left and right. It could be that this is stereo. I'm really not sure. What I'm going to try to do now though is, okay, where did I route this? Oh, okay. I'm going to try to do a stereo filter. But I am not sure if the VCA itself is stereo. It's got no input at all. No. Okay, so the VCA is not stereo. So I'm going to have to put this VCA before the two filters. So let's change this around now. Okay, now the output is, instead of going to the filters directly, it's going to go into the VCA, and the VCA will go to the filters. That's fine. Now we're going to have the... This should work fine as it is, actually. We just go like that. Get rid of these returns for now. Okay, so what happened is, because we didn't use stereo sends, we didn't get a stereo return. But here's the filters. So yeah, let's start modulating these. So you can have stereo filtering. Sounds pretty nuts, actually. These, by the way, these LFOs go up to 80 Hertz. So we can preserve the stereo effect using the inserts. There's two ways to do it. You know, we could either just put them both into the plate, because the plate is stereo anyway, or it can be, as in true stereo. Gorgeous. I have to say, that plate gets me every time I patch it in. Yeah, the other way to do it is to use two analog delay modules, because you can use two of them. And we'll run these in stereo and have them come back. Put some regeneration on there. Okay, and mix them in. Sorry I keep doing this. This is something that's just the way the mouse is on the Mac. It's hard not to. All right. Let's take the LFO out of the equation for now. Run this through the VCA. Let's run this through the envelope generator. Beautiful. So not only is this polyphonic, it's stereo as well, which in the real modular world, it can be really difficult to do all of that. And that saturation, oh, it just really makes it. some fantastic possibilities here. Can I load up another LFO? Yeah, I can. I'm gonna attenuate it first and see if I can do some light modulation. Yeah, nice and easy. Lovely, lovely sound. Let's do some really fast modulation though. So let's just disconnect this filter for now. And we're going to do this the way we had it a minute ago. Let me get rid of this. And we're going to have the mixer go into the filter. And the filter go into the VCA, and the VCA into the outputs. Okay, but we're not going to use this filter. We're going to use the bandpass. Lovely. Oh, I have to use the sample and hold. Let's feed it with some white noise. I think this is how you do it. Yeah. I'm gonna attenuate that a little bit though. Gorgeous. So I'm really impressed. I really think there's a really beautiful quality to the sound on this synth, and it's very inspiring. I mean, what I look for in a synth is something that will actually trigger ideas in my mind for new pieces of music, something that will really inspire me to create, and this is definitely one of those synths. Oh, wrong one. Here it is. I wonder why this sounds off. What did I do now? Huh. Oh, you know what? I think it's the... Yeah. It was the modulation of the width here. Hey, I should do it really... Let's do it really fast. Nice bit of trance there. Plate reverb, come on. Go for this. Nice lush sound again. This is addictive. Where is this coming from again? Okay, down here. There's a sustain. Okay. Okay, so I've got some trancey stuff programmed now. Apologies if you've already heard this in some other video I've done. I didn't really feel like spending the time to program a new sequence when I already have some MIDI. So let's take a listen to this. Nice. So certainly capable of some beautiful trance sounds as well. Okay, so at this point I just want to check out a pad sound. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn the tempo down. And bump things up here. And I'm going to use the notch output. it appears to me I'm going to have to sacrifice something here. Maybe get rid of this oscillator. And let's get rid of these delays. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, yeah, I've lost my signal now. Okay, fix that. There's our notch filter. And I can't resist bringing in one more filter. Let's try the Salon key. I haven't actually tried that yet. Oh, lovely. Okay, I just want to check out this filter though, without anything else going on. So the P900, I'm very impressed with this synth. I'm also just really happy it exists. There was a time when there really weren't very many choices for software modular synths, and there were some drawbacks to the ones that were available to use. So I'm very happy to finally be able to tinker with a modular synth in the DAW like this. So 2 thumbs up from me, without a doubt. The only issues I've had are I've had some graphical glitches when first loading up the plugin in Logic, and I totally cannot run it in Ableton Live. But it's early days, the plugin is still very young, and I'm sure those kinds of things will be ironed out. Basically, check the demo, make sure it works, and if it does, you're golden. Now the other thing is the modules. And I just wrapped this video up, and then like the next day I got a newsletter from Pulsar Modular saying we've added some new modules. So maybe I will make another video just focusing on those new modules, because one is a sequencer and I love sequencers, so looking forward to that. Well, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.